What's up, y'all? Welcome back. 88 Fitness Live every Sunday at 12 Eastern. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about how to eat out without guilt, navigating the restaurants, going out to eat while staying in shape and on your diet. But first, I think we have some
updates. So James has actually got some videos dropping with Miguel Paula this August. So I'm pretty excited to see those.
Yep, 80 athlete, Miguel Paula. We just shot one yesterday. Stay tuned. They are outstanding, in my opinion, of course. Miguel's great on camera, great physique.
Absolutely.
And he's looking at a pro card 10 weeks from now at the OCB Chesapeake.
Yep, Chesapeake Classic. So definitely stay tuned. I think you guys will have fun just seeing how Miguel's physique has changed since the time where he did that posing video to these. So definitely fun.
My man is doing it right. He's making consistent gains. He's dieting right, takes everything serious. There's a reason we sponsor him. There's a reason he's an 88 athlete. He's earned it. And like I said, 10 weeks from now, stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Because my man's going to get that pro card.
Definitely. All right. So let's talk about the topic for today, which is making those healthy food choices when dining out. And we're going to give you more of a practical guide to navigating that today. So we'll go through kind of preparation and mindset, smart ordering, and avoiding certain pitfalls and all that good stuff. But first and foremost, let me just level set. This video is pretty much for most people besides your bodybuilding athletes that are pre-contest. I'm sorry, this video isn't for you guys. You should not be going out to eat at all. You should be making all of your own food if you are in the in-season phase of bodybuilding.
Right. And this affects everybody, every country, every culture. Big T!
Big T!
Hey, buddy! Going out to eat, getting together, eating, drinking, that affects everybody. That's what every culture does to celebrate. You name it, birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, retirements, graduations, the list goes on. Housewarmings, holidays. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Yes.
That's what people do. That's what people do to celebrate. They get together, enjoy good food, good drink.
All right. Well, let's get right into our topic for today. So let's talk a little bit about preparation mindset. So obviously there's some kind of event that you're celebrating or some type of get together. So the first thing I like to do is kind of figure out, well, where is it that we're going to eat? Hopefully I have some say in that, but sometimes you don't, and someone's picked the location or restaurant or get together for you. So when that happens, I always recommend taking a look at that menu beforehand. So most restaurants today have all of their menus online, or you can get access to it. So you can take a look at that.
Everybody has their menu online these days.
Absolutely. So I recommend going through that and having a game plan for whatever you're going to eat, and then also pick an alternate. So what happens is sometimes they're not up to date with whatever that menu is online, and then all of a sudden you get there and you're like, oh my gosh, that meal I was going to pick's not on the menu, and you panic and then order something bad. So definitely have a couple choices that fit your macros that you can eat.
I mean, you said it, pre-plan. If you pre-plan, you nailed it. You can pre-plan it in your macros. You can already plan it out. Most of your restaurants, especially if it's a chain, they're going to have your macros in MyFitnessPal or whatever app you're using anyway.
Right. Yeah, and that's a good point. If you are really trying to count your macros, then you should definitely try to influence your group of friends or your family towards one of those chain restaurants where the macros are going to be posted. If you pick like a local type of restaurant, 9 times out of 10, that's not going to be in MyFitnessPal. You're going to have to do some guesswork to figure out the macros. Yeah. So just something to keep in mind if you want to make it easy on yourself. Another tip there sometimes is having a healthy snack before you go. There's nothing worse than like starving all day and then walking into the restaurant because you're smelling that basket of bread rolls at the table and you just right there it kind of falls apart and you make not wise decisions. So whether it's maybe drinking a protein shake or having a protein bar or something ahead of time, that way you're not hungry. You have time to figure that out.
Don't go to restaurant ravenous and don't go grocery shopping ravenous.
The grocery shopping gets us sometimes for sure. I think it gets us all for sure. Another tip too is just practicing mindful eating. A lot of times we're just eating so fast. It's like you're not even savoring the flavors or tasting your food. Like, I think taking those mindful bites and really taking your time helps you to make smarter decisions and helps you to recognize when you're getting full. So all good tips there. So those are kind of like our overarching general tips for you. I definitely want to get a lot more specific here. So let's start with just like smart ordering. Like, how do you start? Anytime you're ordering your food, if you're looking at the menu, I would say opt for something steamed or grilled, right?
If it's available, absolutely.
Yeah. Anytime you don't have to have excess oils from frying, you are doing good. So, if you're getting a sandwich, let's not get the fried chicken sandwich. Let's get the grilled chicken sandwich. Same with the salad. Salads are generally pretty healthy, but if you start putting fried chicken and meats on there versus grilled, then it starts to fall apart.
Yeah, and usually if you get something fried, it's breaded as well.
Right, so it's double whammy.
You're not just getting the oils, you're getting the breading too.
Right, absolutely. So yeah, I would definitely stick with that. Even steamed, so steamed shrimp versus that coconut shrimp, which is fried. But yeah, so Big T says preparation is key for when eating out or planning a meal. He always looks at the menu online before ordering at the restaurant.
Well done, T. Yeah. Well done.
Oh, hey, there's Kylie. What's up?
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We have about a couple people watching. We can see if you have any questions that aren't related to eating out, fire away. We're here for you. You got us live. You can ask us anything, y'all.
Absolutely. Another thing too with smart ordering is portion control. This is definitely an American culture thing, but our portion size, when you go out to eat, they're giving you a platter. And James and I have traveled to so many different places around the world, and the United States is like the only place that serves you with a platter.
Ridiculous serving portion. I came back from Dominican Republic. I was there for a week, and we stopped at Cheesecake Factory on the way home from the airport. We got our meals, and I said, this is why Americans are fat. Holy smokes. Mm-hmm. The plate was this big, and it was overflowing with food. In the DR, your plate's this big, and you got a little bit regular portion. That's it.
Right. Absolutely. So what do you do to mind that? A good thing is either, hey, share a meal. So sometimes when James and I go out, we're like, hey, do you want to share this? Especially if we're getting an appetizer in addition to, like, we'll decide to share that meal. Or as soon as my plate comes, I ask the waitress or waiter, hey, can you bring me a to-go box? And then I take half of it away, so I'm not tempted to eat it. Like, once it's in that box, you're probably not going to open it at your table and keep eating, right? So at least it's going home with you. Commando Slayer said, just renounce junk. I think that's a junk food like soda and snacks. Yeah, absolutely.
Great advice. You're nothing but empty calories when you're talking junk food, soda, and snacks. If you're drinking a soda, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's crap. It's sugar and calories. It has no nutritional value whatsoever. As a bodybuilder, you shouldn't even be looking at it.
Yeah, since we're talking about beverages, let's go ahead and skip to that part. Definitely like water to stay hydrated. In fact, I recommend drinking almost a full glass of water before you eat your meal, during your meal, and then after you've stopped eating, right? So usually if all that liquid's in your stomach, you're like, yeah, I don't have room for like that extra couple bites of food or whatever.
It also helps break down and digest your food faster. So the more water you drink, the better.
But yeah, definitely stay away from fruit juices, sodas, stick to your non-sugar added iced teas, or if you have to, diet soda. All soda is not really good for you, but if you were going to drink that, definitely want the sugar-free options there.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned juice because a lot of people get confused and say juice is healthy because it has vitamins in it. Yes, it does, but it is loaded with sugar, and this gets a lot of people. Little fun fact most people don't know is the number one cause of childhood diabetes is fruit juice.
Yes.
It is the number one cause because they put so much sugar and add so much sugar to the juice.
Right.
It's not even fructose anymore. It's sucrose, and it's low. It's worse than sodas.
Absolutely.
And people think they're giving their kid a healthy treat or a healthy drink when no, you're giving them diabetes.
I mean, let's just talk about going out to breakfast. What are your drink options when you're at the breakfast buffet? Orange juice, apple juice, water, or coffee, right? So like two really sugary things. And then, okay, you got the coffee and the water. So there's usually not anything in between. So just be mindful of that. If you're getting a glass of orange juice, that's not really great for you. That's not a good source of your fruits and vitamins for the day.
No, man, give up on the juice. I mean, I gave up on juice I don't know how many years ago. I don't miss it. I don't want it. It's
right.
nothing.
All right, so let's go back to smart ordering. One thing, actually, it's not really ordering, it's just portion control in general, is how do you know what the portion sizes are when you're at the restaurant? Like, granted, when you're at home, you have measuring cups, you have scales, you have all of those things. But when you're at the restaurant staring at the platter of food, how do you figure it out? So,
great question. We just said you're going to get ridiculous portion sizes. So what do you do?
Yeah, I like using the hand method, y'all. So basically for your protein source, you use the palm of your hand. So whatever the palm of your hand is, that's the size that your meat should be, your steak, your chicken, whatever it is, whatever the protein, your fish, palm of your hand. And so it scales with each person. Like for instance, like James's palm versus mine, right? Look at those calluses. He needs to order those gloves we're talking about next week. In any case, like he can eat a lot more fish than I can, right? So that helps keep you in portion control. In terms of the other things, your starchy carbs, that's going to be more so like a cupped hand there, like that's a serving. So for your grains, your rices, think about it this way. Like you definitely don't want to be eating 2 cupped palms of rice, or you don't want a cup of rice and a baked potato.
Would you put bread in there as well?
I would consider bread into that group as well.
So you got one roll, yo.
Right.
One roll.
But what happens is like on your plate, you have basket of rolls. You got the rice on the plate, you got the potato on the plate, you got a side salad on the plate somewhere. Like, so it's just a lot of starchy carbs going on in carbs.
Yep. And Big T, you jumped the gun, baby. We're going to talk about alcohol, but Big T already said it comes down to alcohol. You got to be mindful when ordering alcohol in restaurants.
Absolutely.
We're going to get to that in a minute, T, but you are 100% correct.
Absolutely. In terms of vegetable portion size, that's like a clenched fist. And then if we're talking about healthy fat, so maybe that's avocado, olive oil, nuts, that's just the size of your thumb, right?
Your avocado toast, I don't know how you're going to scrape it off and size it up to your thumb, but it shouldn't be more than you.
I mean, I think, you brought up a good point, though. The olive oil and the avocado. So fats have 9 calories per gram of that macronutrient. So if you're pouring like a half a cup of olive oil and dipping your bread in it or something, or putting it on your salad, you're probably consuming more calories than you think you are.
Yes, and she's hurting my feelings right now.
I know, I'm sorry.
Olive oil and bread is my Achilles heel. I love it. I mean, it's got
or olives even.
Good bread. I'm not talking about, a loaf of bread from grocery store. It's got to be fresh bread from the bakery. I'm a bread snob. Europe did it to me when I spent time in Europe. Coming back to the States, and like, these loaves are crap, man. I got to get the fresh bread and olive oil.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's talk about appetizers, because it all starts there and then it goes downhill when you're ordering. You want to look at what are the healthier appetizers. So sometimes, well, first of all, me and James usually will forego the appetizers just because we know that platter of the main course is coming out for us. But if you
if you did your macros and you did it before you went, it's highly unlikely you're going to be able to afford an appetizer. All you're going to be able to get in your calories is your
main course
entree, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to get both, I guarantee it.
Right. But if you are looking for some healthier options, usually there's some type of like hummus and veggies on the menu. And I know it sounds boring, but some of these restaurants, we were at Myrtle Beach at this tiki bar place, and we were like, well, what can we get that's like not so bad? This hummus was like the best hummus I've ever tasted.
Me too.
Yeah.
We went back and got it again.
Twice.
Matter of fact, it was that good.
Definitely. So anything like that, I mean, you could always get like a caprese salad that's got the fresh mozzarella and tomatoes and basil, stuff like that.
And Camille mentioned earlier, you can make it work. We just share. You know,
Yeah.
we'll share an entree and we'll share an app as opposed to eating the whole app and then eating the whole entree together. So there are ways to work it out. You just have to be smart.
Yeah, I mean, steamed shrimp. Sometimes there's even like, pork-filled lettuce wraps or something like that. Yeah. So you're being mindful of like how many carbs and things that you're eating and making a little better of an option there. So in terms of like some pitfalls, things to avoid when going out to eat, definitely anything that's got unlimited something. Like you don't want unlimited appetizers. You don't want the Red Robin bottomless fries. No, you don't want that.
Bread.
That endless bread. They'll keep bringing those baskets of bread, y'all.
Yes, they will.
So stay away from that. Like you want something that's got a concrete portion size. They're not going to bring more of it out to you. We already talked about the olive oils and the olives and stuff like that. Definitely creamy soups or entrees. Oh, yeah. Anything that's cream based is heavy. It's made with lots of butter or heavy whipping cream. It's not going to be macro friendly, that's for sure.
It's hidden calories. I mean, you're going to get a little cup of bisque, but it's going to be 2,000 calories.
Right.
Man. You're basically eating a stick of butter with some lobster in it, you know?
And then same thing with like unlimited pastas or even just pasta in general. Like, that's going to be calorically dense if you eat that.
And Big T said all you can eat buffets are the worst. Going to rack up some calories. Absolutely. There's absolutely no reason any competitor should be at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Definitely.
There's no reason to go in there and stuff yourself and eat as much as you possibly can. That's ridiculousness. There's no need for it. Nobody should be doing that, actually.
In fact, if you actually look up and look around at the buffet, 90% of the people at the buffet are excessively overweight. So
I can tell you right now, if you go into a Golden Corral and you're a bodybuilder in a tank top, you're going to get some stank eyes. Everybody in there is going to look at you like, what are you doing in here, bodybuilder? Because, like she said, 90% of them are obese.
All right. Well, it's kind of funny Big T brought up the buffet because our next topic is the buffet survival guide. I mean, it does happen. So usually, like, we won't purposely go to the buffet, but if we are, like, on vacation at a resort, it's usually buffet style eating or like all you can eat breakfast buffet at the hotel. Right. It's something like that.
All inclusive, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to eat a buffet at some point.
Right. So, I always say you want to start smart. So skip the carb heavy dishes to start with, right? Start with your protein. If you fill up on the healthy meats and fishes and that type of thing, then you're, for the most part, full before you can make all the bad choices.
Sure. And even prior to that, there's a fruit bar and there's a salad bar.
Yeah. And you know where those are located usually? Around the perimeter or the ends. So stay on the perimeter or the ends and not in the middle. That's usually where it kind of falls apart for sure.
Stay away from that dessert bar.
Yeah. And then portion control. So if they actually have a main entree plate and a like salad app plate, you should probably grab that smaller plate and fill that up. So at least you're being a little mindful. You're not, because the tendency when you're at the buffet is like a little this, a little this. Next thing you know,
it's an overflowing.
It's overflowing. You can't even eat off of this thing because stuff's falling off the sides. Yeah. So yeah, get that smaller plate and load it up with protein first. Take that back. Drink your glasses of water, and then go up and have some fruits and some vegetables, have some more water. And then if you're still hungry, okay, maybe there's something else up there for you, but you probably should just call timeout.
Yeah, great advice. There was a guy who worked at Gold's Gym with me, 93 years old. This gentleman had the plate diet, what he called the plate diet. He said, throw away your regular plates, use your tea plate. That's it.
Yeah.
Great advice from 93-year-old man. Yeah. Throw your big plates out and use your tea plates.
And I'll say too, like, let's say you do that strategy. We're like, all right, I'm going to have the small tea plate. I'm going to go get my protein. Don't go back up and get more protein. Like decide like, okay, I ate the protein. I'm done. I'm going to move on to fruit and salad. Yep. Okay, I ate the small plate of fruit and salad. I'm done. Like,
listen, y'all, the small plate diet is one plate. If you keep refilling it, you disregard the small plate diet.
Definitely. All right, let's talk a little bit about alcohol now, because I know it was a comment that came up that really got to be mindful, because that's where it really falls apart.
So this comes up all the time.
Yeah.
We are American. American culture is heavily, heavily into drinking, and so are a lot of other countries. It's just part of the culture. It's what you do to celebrate, what you do when you get together. Alcohol consumption is everywhere. Happy hours are every day. Get-togethers, party. I mean, I said it earlier. It all applies.
Right.
Alcohol. I mean, we get this probably. I get this question more than any other question when it pertains to diet.
Right.
Can I drink booze?
Don't recommend it.
If you are a competitive athlete, absolutely not.
So it definitely slows down your metabolism, and that's not good for building mass or trying to lose body fat. So there's really
protein synthesis. I mean, it's very counterproductive to being fit.
Right.
However,
we're
most
human.
People drink. We are human. It's a great way to take the edge off. We're not talking about getting wasted, having a couple drinks, relaxing, taking the edge off. That is what most people do. That is their outlet. That is how they relax. So, only competitive athletes, only pre-contest is the only time I'm going to tell you can't have a drink.
Right. So let's talk about some strategies now to deal with that when you're out and about. Number one, kind of like the food, stay hydrated. So maybe drink your drink, drink a glass of water, like alternate back and forth. One that fills you up. You have a lot of liquid in your stomach. You're not going to be like hammering those alcohol drinks because you're full. And then two, it's going to help dilute some of that alcohol out, which is good. We don't want to get wasted. And then three, it's important just for your muscles. You do want to stay hydrated. You don't want to get dehydrated from drinking all day.
You're also going to be running to the bathroom back and forth all the time, so you're going to be burning calories doing that as well.
I'm not sure that counts. Definitely. Number two, you need to choose wisely. Yeah. Not all alcoholic drinks are created equally. Commando Slayer mentioned the sodas, and we were talking about fruit juice. Any type of fruity cocktail, y'all, it's like made with like pineapple juice, orange juice, fruit juice. It's sugar. Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's not even juice most of the time. It's syrup. Oof. If you look behind the bar, what they're mixing into your drink, it does not say juice on that bottle. It says syrup, pineapple syrup.
Ugh.
Because it can't even be called juice with as much sugar as they put into it.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like, some of these drinks taste really good. I know me, I usually like fruity drinks as well. And then sometimes I'm like, James, I can't even taste any alcohol in this thing. It's all syrup. So stay away from that. In fact, if we're talking about which alcoholic drinks are the lowest in calories, it's definitely going to be like your vodka sodas, maybe hard seltzers, light beers, and then you could of course do some of the more neat drinks like tequila or rum or brandy and not mix it with anything. So those are just some options. White wine is another one, or even some of your sparkling wines are usually lower in calories than some of your fruitier drinks.
Right. I'm a beer and wine guy these days. I drink beer because it bloats me and I don't want to eat. I get 4 beers in me and my stomach's like, whoa, I'm not eating that. No way. Matter of fact, I don't even want another beer at that point. I'm so bloated.
Right.
It's a good tip to keep you from pigging out eating while you're drinking, and it's a good tip to keep your drinks limited.
Yeah, speaking of limited drinks, I have this whole horrible problem. If they put a straw in my drink, within a couple of minutes, my drink is gone. It makes it way too easy to just mindlessly sip on it and drink it. So usually I'll take the straw and chuck it out of my drink. That way I have to actually take the glass to my lips. And anytime you're sipping that way, you're usually a lot more mindful because you have to be more careful. There's ice and stuff in the drink. You can't just guzzle it down.
Right.
So that's an easy way. Or take that big straw and put one of those little stir straws in there and try to suck through that. It's going to take longer for you to drink your drink because you have less.
And it's pretty easy at this point. We are older, so it's a lot easier than when I was younger. I struggled a bit when I was younger with this, and I can tell you very much so. If you're out there drinking, partying, you're not going to place in a contest.
Right.
You're not going to beat the guy that's not out there partying and drinking.
Oh, definitely not.
Believe me, I know.
All right. Well, any other tips for everyone before we end today?
I think we covered it. I mean, do your best.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you not to do anything, but do your best with it. It's part of culture. Like I said, you're going to get together. You're going to go out. You're going to drink. You're going to eat. It's what humans do to celebrate.
I mean, sometimes it's not even celebrating. Sometimes it's like, hey, I got jammed up in meetings and now I'm running between things. I need to grab something from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So definitely practice that preparation and mindset. Like, know where those local places are where you can pop in and grab a healthy snack and not like bust your diet for the day. Read those menus. Have readily available snacks with you so you're not having to go like grab something from Wawa or Royal Farms.
That's what we always say, plan ahead.
Yeah.
I went to a Baltimore Ravens game when I was pre-contest one time. Guess what? I packed every meal I had. I didn't buy a beer. I didn't buy any food at the stadium whatsoever.
Right.
I had to bring my food. I had to stay in my macros, and I did. And I had a great time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Practice that smart ordering. In fact, this is a tip we didn't talk about. If you're out in a group of friends, be the first one to order, not the last, because the time you hear like Billy, Sam, and Sue ordering like double cheeseburgers or whatever, you kind of get that social pressure to make a bad choice. But if you're the one that sets the tone for the ordering, saying, hey, I'm going to get a grilled chicken breast and a side salad, then it kind of sets the whole tone for the rest of the party. And worst come to worst, your food's already ordered. So you can't like turn around and make a bad choice.
Listen, y'all, if your friends are affecting what you're ordering, you might want to get new friends or not go out with them.
Right. All right. And then remember the hand, right? So the protein should be the size of the palm. Your starchy carbs are like a cupped hand here. Vegetables like a fist. And then fats like your olive oil, nuts, and whatnot, the size of your thumb. So easy visual gauge to figure out how much you're actually eating.
And be smart. And remember, it's all priorities. Do you want to eat that food more than you want to be fit and have a six-pack?
Right.
Or do you want that six-pack more than you want to eat that food? You don't have to answer. Your actions will show us.
Absolutely.
100%. You can answer in your head, but when you execute and you put the action in, that's when you put your answer in. That's when you tell yourself, what do I want more? That six-pack or that basket of bread?
Exactly. All right, y'all. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. For more like it, check out our live playlist and make sure you tune in every Sunday at 12 Eastern. It's your opportunity to interact with James and I live and ask any questions you may have, even if they're unrelated to our topic.
Terrence, Kylie, Commando Slayer, thanks for the comments. Thanks for the questions. Appreciate you.
All right, y'all. We will see you guys next week. Bye.